Welcome to the Silver S-Rank guide for Sonic Project 06. Well, let's restart that timer. If you didn't see the Sonic S-Rank guide, I'm going to be going through all of Silver's story pretty much casually and collecting all the upgrades and S-Ranks along the way. If you've seen the Sonic S-Rank guide video, I talk quite a bit about how the combo system works and how basically none of it will apply to us here in Silver's story. The three different facets of grabbing an S-Rank in a stage in P06 is the ring bonus, the time bonus, and the just score bonus of the score you have that's in the top left of the screen. All those have to be equal to or above 50,000 points in order to get an S-Rank for the stage. And Silver, unfortunately, while he can combo enemies in a way that he can defeat a bunch of them at once with his Psycho Shock and Psychokinesis and throwing objects and all that stuff, well, let's do things a little casually here. Grab this rune. He's not able to chain combos like Sonic or Shadow are able to do. We'll be talking about Shadow a little bit later on, well, on the YouTube, not on the Twitch. So we're going to be relying a lot more on the ring bonus, which in Crisis City, the ring bonus is actually really difficult to keep because there's a lot of stuff that is just thrown at you in this stage. And the stage is red and the enemy projectiles are red as well, so it can be a little bit tough to figure out when things are being thrown at you. Hello, Mayonnaise. Hope you're doing well. Yeah, I wasn't happy with how it turned out. That's all. So I'm doing it again. Anyway, back on topic here. So, seeing something that I haven't seen in a while, actually, is this little room right here. Fun fact about this room, when you hit this rune, all these things are going to come up. If you just wait a little bit, a third object comes up that's right underneath that 20 ring box. I think that's really neat. I mean, obviously in Project 06, Silver can clear that gap no problem even without activating the rune, but I thought it was a neat little detail regardless. To wait a half an hour? Oh man, that stinks, Nailin. Well, hopefully I can make that time for your wait just a little bit easier. Now, because obviously we want to keep this ring bonus up, which means we need to keep all these rings we collect until the end. If you're having trouble and you just keep getting hit, I recommend using Silver's Psychic Shot. If you don't know what the Psychic Shot is, you can check out my main channel, Stelmo98. I have a video where me and some other YouTubers explain all of the character abilities that are in Project 06. The Psychic Shot, as a quick aside, it stuns enemies that are far away from you, and it homes in on them as well. So there's a particular enemy giving you some trouble, stay a good distance from them, use that Psychic Shot so that way you don't take any damage and lose your rings. Thankfully, though, we got 89 rings, and we also have the very fortunate thing where we're going to be switching to Blaze the Cat in this stage. Blaze the Cat is very good for getting S ranks because she has a homing attack, like Sonic and Shadow, and also has access to a double/triple jump, depending on how you use it. We'll be using it mostly as a double jump. Hello, Matios. I've been kicking my buns. It seems to be that way. Seems to be that way all around. Hello, GJ. Nice to see you. Hope you're doing well today. That's why we're here, just to hang out and play some Sonic P06. So there aren't too many places in Blaze's section here to get the S rank. I actually think that this S rank is one of the harder ones in Silver's story, and it's at the very beginning of his story, which definitely stinks. There's just a lot of enemies here, and they can throw a lot of projectiles, and there's a lot of fire and debris and stuff to get hit by. And the time bonus isn't very generous in this stage, so getting that enemy score and ring bonus is very important here. And this is a particularly scary place because that fire to our right there, these little fire things actually do damage. So it's very important that Blaze doesn't homing attack through it because she is not invincible while homing attacking. Made it through though, 142 rings, 16,000 points. Every ring we collect is worth 100 on the final score when we take it to the results screen, so it's very important to keep all those. Also, before we get to Dusty Desert, I'm not going to be using the teleport dash a whole lot. And that's because teleport dash, it has very short range. And while it does have the property of allowing us to go through enemies without having to worry about taking damage from them, if you end the teleport dash in an enemy, you're gonna take a hit. So it's better to just not use it until you grab an upgrade that we'll be getting later in the story.
Let's do this quickly.
I mean, Blaze's homing attack is different because you can initiate it from the ground, but Shadow and Sonic's homing attacks are identical.
Watch out for things flying out of the tornado.
Why do they respawn? What group? I missed it.
Good.
To be able to be burned by fire, in the Silver Release 1.0, Blaze could actually avoid, at the very least, the lava in Flame Core. She could avoid it by using her spinning claw. However, that was a bug, and it's now not the case that happens. Big group for the goal ring? I didn't know that they respawn. That's cool. Tropical Jungle, words are hard, coming up next year. Tropical Jungle in the initial Silver release used to be an extremely difficult S rank to get, but now it's been made quite a bit easier. So I'm just going to use the Psychic Shot to get rid of that enemy because I don't want him destroying these boxes, which I'm going to use Uplift Object to get to the top route. Top route of Tropical Jungle has a lot of points on it, as you'll see very, very soon. We are going to go to the right here on the top route, and there's just a couple enemies over here that we can grab. Or defeat, rather. I don't know. That's just how Pete delivered the voice.
Be careful when opening.
Afternoon, boys. What's up, Volt? Yep. Gotta follow closely for all those S ranks. So, if we hover right over here, there's this big enemy formation, and this enemy right here in the middle is their leader. When we defeat them, it defeats all of them around, and we get a bunch of enemy points as well as that combo bonus. So, that was a new thing that was added in the Silver patch, version 1.4, most current version of the game. If you go to your data settings and it does not say version 1.4, please download the game again. Your save file actually will carry over if you have a Silver release save file. As you saw, just coming right over here, huge bit of ring spawn. We can just run around and collect all of these. And these two things, the big enemy formation from earlier and this little addition of rings here, really makes Tropical Jungle's S rank super easy to grab. Thankfully, the stage is very short as well. Going to work out? Hey, enjoy your workout, man. Appreciate the lurk. Go ahead and just grab this vine here, and then we will activate it. I'm not too worried. We can basically just go to the end of the stage now, because time bonus will take care of the rest. Oh, whoops. I didn't mean to fall. Can I get a goofy slope jump? Actually, no, I think this ball might be too big. Oh, never mind. Balls are never too big for Silver.
Those enemies look like they're guarding that cage. It seems I'll need to defeat them first.
Grab the Psycho Shock here, defeat these enemies, and
Hurry.
do a teleport dash just for fun as we go into the goal ring. S rank number 2 down. $60,610 points. Well over that S rank requirement as we head into... While the first two stages can be a little bit difficult, Dusty Desert is actually a bit of a breather, because not only do we obtain a really awesome upgrade here, but the time bonus for this stage is absolutely absurd. If you go through this stage at a walking pace, it is still incredibly easy to grab the S rank. So instead of trying to mumble about and try to fill the time, I'll just kind of turn it over to regular stream where I talk to chat and answer questions and stuff, because this is just going to be me going through Dusty Desert at the very least until we get the get to the upgrade portion. Recommendation I have for the billiard balls is to let all of them fall into this pit here before you start hitting them into the holes. It makes things much easier because they pretty much all stay flat on the ground. Additionally, if you use your Psychokinesis on the billiard balls, you can have them stop for a short time. Very nice. And into the holes they go, and we will continue on. Lift dumbbells in the morning? I mean, I imagine that there are people in the world that do that. I don't own any dumbbells, so I don't lift any in the morning.
Leave this up to me.
Amy.
Unfortunately, unlike Blaze, Amy does not have any combo potential. However, if you do a quick hammer jump and come over here, you can grab a couple extra rings and a 1-up. Pretty cool stuff. That was added in the most recent patch as well, I'm pretty sure.
I feel it.
Most recent patch being almost a year old at this point, which is kind of crazy to think about. Definitely want to avoid that, even though rings don't matter too much in this stage. Do you grew to like Silver more? Hey, nice. Always fun to find enjoyment from games.
That robot's probably a lookout. If it sees you, things could get messy.
Don't get to see much when you're speedrunning of Amy's running animation, but it looks really nice. A really good compromise between her leaning forward and looking like she's putting in effort while she's running. Pretty decent run speed, too.
There's gotta be a switch around here.
Creative chaining with enemies can get a good combo, but just because Amy doesn't have a lock-on move, it's pretty difficult to maintain the chain, which is why I don't make note of it.
How about
Dusty Desert's an incredibly easy stage, and it's the only one she's in anyway,
now you can move on, right?
Thank you.
so it's not a huge deal.
If I'm not careful,
Little tip here is these platforms, the actual outcropping, or I guess the mouth in which the platform comes out, is also a foothold. So you can just stand there and don't have to worry about timing at all.
Shields are in place. Attack and defenses are down.
Definitely helps because Silver has that hover that you can use to make precise
leading up if I use
landings.
my power over there.
When it comes to the hover, a great thing to do is to neutral stick before you let go of A. Wait for Silver to come to a complete stop. Has to fix the camera. The camera clips on purpose. It's not broken.
They're guarding that door.
The camera used to not clip and would thus wig out when you were in situations like that. But thankfully, because the camera clips now, it doesn't freak out and it's easier to work with your positioning. Well, as we see here, it looks like the enemies helped us out. Before we go over to the ball puzzle, we actually destroy all 3 of these statues. We're going to reveal 3 separate switches. And if we look at these little rings over here as an arrow pointing toward these, we got 1, 3, and 2. So if we hit the switches in order of 1, 2, and 3, we can unlock a door going the alternate way into the first bonus area of Silver's story. Really cool and really fun that it's in Dusty Desert. I love it when Project 06 repurposes the other characters' areas, because this is an area that Shadow normally goes through. Wait for this laser. There we go. Got our first upgrade. In order to get it, we got to come over here, activate the rune. Kind of like how it's a little bit hidden because the platforms are green. And the rune is also, it's mostly teal, because Silver Psychokinesis is teal. Still got a little green in it. At least in this lighting. And now we have the Lotus of Resilience, which allows Silver to spin jump, like almost every other character in the game. And our teleport dash no longer has a set distance. We can just go as long as we have action gauge for it. Looks like the ball puzzle here, the ball got a bit ahead of us, so gonna run and chase it down. Actually, a bit of an advantage there. We don't have to hit it harder. Yep, we're Badnik bouncing.
So I guess the lock will open if I put
I definitely recommend here, because the ball slows down quite a bit on this ramp, hitting it toward the right so that it can just go right in down the toilet. And as we finish up Dusty Desert, you can see I had 27,000 points. The time bonus is going to more than make up the difference to get to this S rank, even though we did get hit for that 33,000 points on the time bonus on a very, very, very casual run of the stage, 5 minutes. I wouldn't be surprised if most people on their first run finish it in like 3 or 4. That was very slow. White Acropolis. This is another one that can be very tough if you do not combo with Blaze in her section at the beginning here. So there are a bunch of enemies, and being able to do her double jump here, not only to stall herself in the air, because the combo has a much longer timer before it finishes, as long as the character stays in the air. You are able to, it's not quite after every jump. I think it depends on what Blaze hits. Actually, don't really understand the mechanics too much of when her double jump refreshes, because sometimes it'll refresh after you hit an enemy, but if you use a double jump and then hit another enemy, it won't refresh. So, have I heard it is on the 6? I have heard it's on the 6 because I am streaming for it. I put an event in the Discord if you would like to be here. I'm streaming it for like 9 hours. So if you're watching the Silver S rank guide, Wednesday, September 11th, I will be here on my main channel.
It seems those enemies
Or not on, I mean on my Twitch channel, I guess. Streaming a bunch of games from this year's Sonic Amateur Games Expo. I'm really excited. I already got a list. I think it's going to be really fun. And there we go. With that final enemy wave, we come out of Section 1 with 29,000 points. I could just gun straight to the end here, but I'll show off that if you maybe weren't able to get as good of a combo as I did in Section 1, that there still are plenty of places you can get enemy score in Section 2. Here. There are very few enemies on this portion of the stage. Oh. How are you supposed to get up here normally? Maybe you are supposed to hover from that location. Hello, hero. How you doing? What are we doing now? I'm currently doing an S rank guide for Silver's story in Project 06. How are you doing today? Hit this light from here. Nope. Yep, I've received a couple comments very recently on my Sonic and Shadow S rank guide that I did back for the Shadow release, so I figured I'd update all 3 for the Silver release. We've already done Sonic and Shadow, so now it's Silver's time. But in terms of how YouTube's watching it, we've already done Sonic. Shadow's coming up later. Here we are, 33,000 points before we even get into the open section here.
Okay, a little further to go until the base.
Oh, backwards is omelets? That's true. There's a short I made a very long time ago when Beats came to that realization as well. I almost would prefer if that was the origin story. However, it is not. As you can see, if you go around the right side here, there's just tons of enemy groups. Tons of enemy groups that are really good for Silver, because again, Silver can't combo really well. Story time? Story time about what? I'm trying to remember. I think I did an origin story short on my name. Either that or I had the replay buffer clip for a long time and just never made a short out of it because it was a lot of text to write. And I was feeling lazy. This is what happens with some clips. It's just like, oh man, that's a lot of writing. I've already made like 3 or 4 shorts. It's like, oh, I don't want to do another one. But I should, because they're fun. And I know folks that follow both the main channel and the second channel. The second channel is what you're viewing this on right now. The main channel and the second channel. Main channel is Stelmo 98 with all my scripted stuff. And the Stelmo show is basically the stream, but on YouTube.
Perfect.
Lots to enjoy from both. Got like, between both channels, mostly the second channel, I have like 1,200 videos. So. Alright, moving on into Radical Train. Watcher, this is P06, and it's actually good vid. Dang, does that imply that my other videos aren't good? That's so sad. Radical Train, to talk about it just a little bit, is a stage that's very weird. It has a very high time bonus. However, there aren't that many points to get within the stage itself, so it's very vital to pretty much defeat every enemy group possible. And there's also lots of potential for taking damage with Silver here. 100 more facts about P06? Maybe for the last release. I would think a video like that would be a waste of time right now. And I'm not that starved for content that I have to keep recycling stuff. At least for the main channel.
I guess I've got to break down the door.
Fun fact, you can destroy these barricades with the psychic shot. I believe it. Is it Leak Hall? I'm not sure how to pronounce that Q. in your name. Welcome to the stream. There's a Lek Hall, maybe? Nice thing when you defeat those enemies, a spring appears here and you can... Lequal? Or Lekual? Let me know. I'm a big old moron, so... It might take me a minute, but I'll do my best. And as you can see here, even with basically destroying everything in the stage, I only have 60 rings and 11,000 points. The time bonus is quite important for this stage here. Fun fact, there will maybe or maybe not eventually be silver medals implemented. Or actually, I think it is confirmed that silver medals will be implemented, and that's why that cage opens. I have watched the Sonic 3 trailer. It's cool. Oh my goodness, I think we're gonna hear the abandoned mine loop, which is not something you hear in any of the 3 characters' story. And there we go. Radical Train time bonus should take us well over the S rank requirement. Look at that, 39,000 points. It's because there are so few points within the stage itself. I don't know how I feel about Shadow's head not moving, but I like the idea. Moving into Aquatic Base. Aquatic Base, Kingdom Valley, and Flame Core are all freebie stages, which is really nice. So we can just kind of meander through these stages as long as you defeat everything. And even if you die, like, at the end of Section 1 into Section 2, it's really easy to come back from stuff. Do a little bit of comboing with Shadow here. Definitely make sure to check out Shadow's S rank video. You don't need to combo with Shadow here to get the S rank, though. It's not necessary at all.
Shadow, I'll be looking out for
It looks cool. Yeah, it's pretty alright. I just wish its head moved. And sniped. That guy's just got stellar timing. Like 11 p.m. Hey, it happens, Hero. Thanks for popping in, man. See you later. Good luck with class. Hop over here. I forgot I can... I can unapologetically use the teleport dash now, because we have the Lotus. Great upgrade. And Badnik bounce, too. Fireboxes, when you throw them, defeat enemies in one hit regardless of health. Pretty nice. Appreciate that they put that there. And after hitting that switch, we do not want to jump down just yet. Instead, we're going to hover over to the center pillar here and go straight across. See this little zip line here, and then hit it. Activate the rune. Use the Psycho Shock to activate all 3 switches at once. Going to open a separate door. Do our next upgrade for silver, which is just right here. Now, before you go farther, there are 2 nice little hidden switches right here. Grab those with the Psycho Shock. Got a pretty large range, so Silver can use it to activate that right in the middle there. And then hit the rune once more. Psycho Shock. And now we got the Flame of Control. The Flame of Control, as it says on the tin, Psycho Smash does more damage, so when you throw stuff with the charged, I believe it leaves out charged Psycho Smash. But if you hold the X button in the air, you actually charge Silver slap up before you throw things. And that one-shots, mostly. And then we also get the Psychic Knife from Generations. Yo, nice, Marcy. That's pretty crazy, considering you haven't been here in a while. Also, fun fact, you can teleport dash off of the ball. So you can just save a little time right there. And let's use that Psychic Knife. Bop those guys. That middle worm there happens to be a leader. Which is pretty nice.
Look like they're guarding that door. Let's start by getting rid of them.
Where's the vertical knife? Just put Silver on a vertical plane. And then he'll do it. You can use the fire geysers in Flame Core. And There you go. Oh, no one's escaping. This is my genocide route for P06. Still kind of a shame that Iblis and Mephiles have the same variants of enemies. I wish there was a little bit more diversity in what you fought. Eggman's mechs have really good diversity within that faction. Shame that these factions are both pretty much the same. Mephiles' purple guys just have more health. Go ahead and just skip these guys. It's not worth fighting them. There's a huge slew of enemies we're about to encounter at the end of the stage here.
Looks like I need to wipe out the enemy.
Grab that. You can hit these magnetic poles twice, so it takes care of both waves of enemies, which is nice. It says 3D in my 3D Sonic game. Get the hell out of here. Use the Psychic Knife for a little bit of fun with those enemies, and then we got the final wave. And there we go. Aquatic Base, 32,000 points. Time bonus is going to more than take care of that. And we also still got all the rings, so very, very nice S rank. 69, 120.
Perfect.
Nice. Oh, there's the posture check. Reminder that all posture checks, hydrates, and stretches are for everyone in chat, not just for me. Kingdom Valley. I don't know why I had to think about that. Kingdom Valley, like I said, at the beginning of Aquatic Base. It's another pretty freebie stage. There's just a lot of stuff that you can defeat, and the time bonus is extremely generous. This one's a little bit scarier, though. There's a lot of bottomless pits here in the first section with Silver. And the second section, we do switch to Sonic for a bit, but it's also got a lot of bottomless pits. And since we're fighting Eggman's mechs, they fire many missiles at once, so it can be a little scary. All right, let's just walk through the debris there. I have the cutscenes turned off, Jambo. Are really nothing in here? I'm surprised. Maybe there's something hidden up top behind the wall.
I might be able to levitate that spring.
There's not much to say here. Not much strategy. Just defeat stuff. Yeah, that would make sense. There's probably a silver medal in there. Wait, but I'm silver. Confused.
Great. I think I can.
Also, just with how many rings are in these stages, you can see my life count is very healthy, sitting at 16. If you are having issues with life count, you can always quit out of the stage and it resets your life counter. So, nice trick there to basically have infinite tries. And you can pause and quit out at any time in the level, too, even if you're, like, in the middle of a death animation. So, very forgiving. This looks like a good spot for the Psychic Knife. Make a level? I mean, yeah, you could do that, too. If you're feeling like cheating, I guess. Which I feel like cheating quite a bit. Might as well take advantage of the Lotus since we got it here. It always is fun to take a nice little break and play some P06 casually. Just fun to run through these levels. And listen to the music as well. Most of the time I use a lot of these tracks as visual cues for how well I'm doing in a stage. But for right now, just get to enjoy them. Ride that eagle on into Section 2. 23,000 points coming out of Section 1. We pretty much got the S rank in the bag at this point. But we've got some more stage to go. When we switch over to Sonic, we're going to be able to do some more comboing as we did in Sonic's S rank guide with that bound attack to really extend the length of our combo meter. I know that score isn't the main focus of Project 06 or anything. It would be kind of cool if there was a visual indicator for the combo meter for when your combo was going to run out and stuff. Bonus points if it was toggleable on and off. There are a lot of UI elements in P06, so I'm not surprised it's not there already. No castle skip? I'm not going to do castle skip in a guide video. Save that for the speedrun videos. The crazier the song gets, that'd be a lot of variants, but I guess there also are a lot of variants on these tracks. Well, the tracks are less variations and more different movements, especially in Crisis City and Kingdom Valley's case, because they're actual orchestrated pieces. Avoid these enemies. Thankfully, enemies in Project 06, even with the highest draw distance, they spawn very close to the player, and they have probably 2 to 3 seconds of a delay before they actually start their attacks. So, one thing that would actually be a meta strategy would be to turn your draw distance on low, so that way the enemies don't spawn in until you're super close to them. Oh, accidentally launched that dude into the stratosphere. There's no fall damage for the player or the enemies in P06 though, so unless they fall into the water or a pit. So there we go. Even taking that hit at the end, I have no doubt. Yep, very easy S rank to grab.
Perfect.
5:11. Don't think that that's an unreasonable time at all for a firster. I mean, if you're getting the S ranks first time through, then you're a gamer for sure. But maybe second or third. I would say all of the S ranks in P06 are manageable on your second or third run through a stage, which I'd say is pretty alright in terms of challenge. Flame Core, our third of the 3 stages that are cakewalks because the time bonus is so high. Nope, just play the stage, defeat everything you see, and you'll be good. Fall damage in any Sonic game would be brutal. Of all the things that happen in this franchise, fall damage, thankfully, is one that I'm pretty sure has never graced its path. Using that teleport dash, it's probably the most useful here, just with all the lava. Just gonna activate the rune here. Maybe could have done the Badnik bounce. Badnik bounce isn't too hard to pull off for this part. To get to the spring early. But more enemies to defeat is always good. Now that we have that Psychic Knife too. The Psychic Knife does 2 damage? 3 damage? Those worms actually get hit twice because they have multiple hitboxes along their neck. There isn't a neck? The curved part of their body, I guess. I don't know. Take the top route here, grab that invincibility. And now we're, as GameWinners.com says, super duper Sonic. I think that's something that's like Sonic 4, like the Sonic 4 cheats, tips, and tricks is it's like you want to be super ultra Sonic, you can get an invincibility and shield and be super Sonic all at the same time. Glad to see that Project 06 references that, of course.
No matter how many of you come, it's a waste of time.
Dude, GameWinners.com was my jam back then. I loved that the category of cheats was held so loosely. Like, I specifically remember there being one for Sonic Advance 2 where it was a cheat. If you had a shield and used Sonic's air trick, you would look like Saturn. It's like, wow, I'm cheating. Very glad there's such an easy to grab shield here. Do we keep the shield in section 2? Oh my goodness. I guess that makes sense. I don't know why I wouldn't.
What is that thing?
Because that happens in Mach Speed sections too, so yeah, of course. Your rings and stuff hold over as well, so the shield not holding over would be a little silly. It's actually exactly like Sonic 3 and Knuckles, where you can hold over between the sections or acts, and then when you switch stages or switch zones, it goes away. What is this even? Does this activate both platforms? Oh no, it's just the one. Grab that. Whoops. Got out to Silver's hover. Right there. And up we go. Say hello to our friend Bill. See you later, buddy. Thanks for the points. Now we have the shield going into the final section of this stage, which is nice. Excuse me, fellas.
What is that ball of flame? Is that the power of Iblis? It seems like the attacks come in regular intervals.
Be able to easily make the second shockwave. Nice. And we should be able to get to this next shield over here before the next shockwave happens. Activate this. Yeah, those memes unfortunately didn't stick around. They weren't as iconic. I'm gonna wait for this last flare, assuming it activates. Looks like it will. Hey, what's up, Names Aplenty? Hope you're not late. Exclamation mark late, my man. Give you the answer to that. Currently doing an S rank guide for Silver's story. Thankfully, there's not a lot to explain near the end.
Now all I have to do is take him down.
The lava is also cool here once you destroy the flame core. So the orb is actually called the flame core.
Great.
Good.
Funnily enough. Look at that time bonus, 36,000 points, and now
Perfect.
we're off to Wave Ocean. Yeah, it's literally called Flame Core. Kind of funny. Heading on into Blaze's Wave Ocean. We just get to do more comboing with Blaze. There's 3 specific enemy groups that are really nice for her. She has a really generous time bonus once again. The back half of Silver's story just has these really incredible time bonuses, and Dusty Desert too, that I recommend using the Fire Claw specifically on, because it's harder to keep the combo with the Spinning Claw or the Pro Attack, because Blaze is on the ground, whereas she stays airborne when you use the Fire Claw. And the Fire Claw is just a homing attack, so it makes things a little bit easier. But the first group at the beginning, the second group there. And we can just continue on. There's going to be a big third group of enemies, and then there'll be one more group all along this shoreline here. And then we'll basically have our S rank at that point. I don't think there's anything under here. Oh, there is. Cool. Points to Blaze for being able to use her homing attack on the ground as well. Oh yeah, you can also just walk... Oh, whoops. Oh, doesn't really matter. You can also just walk around this guillotine. Kind of funny.
I'll take you all on.
Oh, some friendly fire there from the enemies. Not too great for my bonus, but whatever. If they want to defeat themselves, they can. Yeah, it can. Happens. Be curious to see how it runs next release. But only Chaos X knows when that'll happen.
Hey, are you trying to crash on
And he probably doesn't even know. Oh, there's a shield here, nice. I don't really think the end of Wave Ocean is particularly dangerous. Want some cool alternate routes? There's a spring hidden here that leads to a rainbow ring. Very nice. Then additionally here, we break these wooden boxes below, some jump panels that take us right to the end of the stage. Very cool. If you want to avoid these crazy lasers, you can just walk around the left side of the rock formation here. And defeating these 3 enemies, 40,000 points, 41 rings. I think it's safe to say we got that S rank in the bag. And that is going to be all the S ranks for silver, but this is also kind of a 100% guide as well. So I will meet you back at the end of Flame Core to collect our final upgrade, which, when we fade out and receive our gold medal here, the game should tell us the Sigil of Awakening has manifested in Flame Core. So see you in a second. But not on Twitch, you fuckers are stuck with me. When I would go to school in the winter, I would wear shorts because the school would always be so hot. Like, it would be just ridiculously hot indoors. And my parents would always be like, dude, it's like, 10 degrees Fahrenheit outside. Why are you wearing shorts? And it's like, because I'm gonna be outside for 30 seconds and in a building for 8 hours. I'm gonna wear what's comfortable in the building. Anyway, cutscene time. As Silver controls the flame. Oh, that's wild. Hey, YouTube. Hi. We're gonna collect the sigil now. I wonder how many times I've done informative videos of this exact thing of me grabbing the Sigil of Awakening. Also, fun fact, this door, when you get here, closes behind Silver, so if you miss grabbing the sigil on accident, you won't be able to get in and have to play Flame Core again.
Good.
Totally not my own. Totally don't know that from experience. But anyway, that's going to be it for the Silver S Rank Guide. I hope you enjoyed. Thank you so much for watching. Have a fantastic rest of your day. And next time I see you with P06 will be with the Shadow. That's the next character. The Shadow. There he is. Shadow S ranks. Hope to see you soon.